players have been picked, and they've been training with these teams, just getting them familiar with their different styles, just so that they're all on the same page come game time, and we're not going to have any issues tonight.
And you'll see in the background the crowd, like we made mention, is really built nicely here at Whites Hill in Brisbane. A lot of touch heads have come out to watch the top level of touch in our sport. Had a great crowd building here. And they'll be watching some great football here in the Women's Open Division. Opening match of the Trans-Tasman Series between New Zealand and Australia. Pretty electric start here from New Zealand, but just coming off the hands there of their captain, Mary Uramata Allen. But they looked strong, they looked energetic coming off the tap-off.
Yeah, and they're very vocal in the box too, the Touch Blacks. They're up and about and ready for this one.
Australia, first possession for them. As Dybel gets them over the halfway line. She set out this morning's early match against Japan, along with Danny Davis, who's also got the green and gold jersey on to make her first appearance in this competition.
Yeah, it's an interesting point. Dybel and Davis are going to have fresh legs tonight. And Davis, the veteran, she'll be one of the key players leading this team around the park, particularly in the middle, looking for those key plays.
Julie Law just holding the ball up, just gave the opportunity for the Touch Blacks to get their players on. As they switch in. They go, flat ball from half. It will be a penalty though. Australia out on their left-hand side of the field.
That wind has picked up, Scott, since we started the broadcast. That's going to have a little bit of effect on the long balls tonight.
Here she goes. That's that young lady that we made mention of, Skylar and Tainui Takarai. Like you said, playing in the middle for New Zealand. Having a nice dig at the line early on in the touch count.
Yeah, once again we saw that not moving forward penalty. That's a renewed focus for the referees. Good touches made there. Interesting to see how that plays out in this game, whether the players respond and move forward at the required pace.
Tainui Takarai will get herself into half.
Heavily involved early stages, Takarai.
Right foot, a little bit of a loopy ball, didn't come out of the hands cleanly in Australia. They get straight back on the attack, down the sideline with Maddock. Good contact on her on the first touch. That's good intent there from New Zealand. They want to try and slow the momentum down. Their defence and their contact's been good.
Yeah, they won the ruck in those first few touches there, Scott. That's really good positive intent in the ruck defence.
It's been a good reaction, though, from Australia as Files tries to get on the outside. Fifth and final touch for them. They'll be happy so far with their defensive set. Still one play to come as Jeffs goes across, switches in off the fingertips there of Rebecca Maimai, and they will be happy then. They're high fives and they're up and about in their interchange box here, New Zealand.
Yeah, Lucia Files is going to be one. Just the ball goes down. I was just about to say Lucia Files will be one to watch. A very unpredictable player, Scott, with that trademark hat backwards. She's going to be involved in the middle all night long tonight.
Here she is from half. Sends it midfield to Maimai. They look to go down the short side. Files tries to skip on the outside. Good touch. There was a little bit of room. Did get on the outside shoulder.
Yeah,
defensive touch.
Asking great questions early here. The Emus through Files.
She'll come back and play on the 7-metre line. Rogers unloads from half. Maimai will play it. They go away from Tiani Bryce. Sweeping. Jeffs gives an early ball. Rebecca Maimai, and it is the Australians who score first in this opening match in the Women's Open Division. And just came off the back of that mistake that New Zealand made coming out of their end of the field.
Yeah, just that reset on the line. And Beck Maimai, she's known for her running and passing game, and she showed it there beautifully as she swept around. And the Emus go up 1-0 early in our Women's Open match.
New Zealand off the restart. We'll play it. Minton, they get a penalty. There's been a few occasions.
Yeah, there it is, Scott. As I mentioned earlier, they're going to be very strict on moving forward. So the players will really need to adjust on the run.
Foster forced to retrieve. We'll play it. As Minton gets into half. Minton comes back out. And it's a loose ball back on the inside. And you can probably hear through the effects through the coaching staff in New Zealand looking to attack the line. They want to run. As Dybel gets him going forward, and another mistake from Australia.
Yeah, referee Randall's picked up, I believe, a forward pass off the ruck there. Great attacking position for the Touch Blacks.
Changes onto the part for New Zealand. Sycamore holds it up.
Yeah, you can hear the coaching staff here in the New Zealand box. They want the players to go direct here and attack that line. Let's see how they set up with this next one.
Shepherd links back up. They're on the back foot so far. Australia are doing a good job to push New Zealand back. They're not going forward at the moment. They're still within the attacking zone of the field. Sycamore sends it back and they pulled them up.
Yeah, probably lucky to get away with that one, the Emus. Looks like they were holding on the line, but referees picked up another forward pass. Relieving penalty there for the Emus.
Dybel unloads to Duff. Matic onto the field. Good defence so far, early stages. Susi has to hold it, does a good job to throw the dummy and get them back on the front foot. Matic from half tries to slip in. Just didn't quite get out of second gear, was looking at her options. Just gave the New Zealand defence enough time to hold and then make the touch when they're back on side.
Yeah, she couldn't get open space there, Hayley Matic, but she's going to be one to watch in this game also. Known for her running game, and she can be an X factor tonight. As the referee's picked up, she's heading back to the halfway. This will probably be a 7-on penalty, I would say, Scott.
Yeah, that is the call from the referees, so just not quite clinical when they were making their interchanges, New Zealand.
Again, that's something that's been focused on too the last few years at the top level. We can only have 6 players on the field at any given point.
Yeah, good call. I was just going to make mention even before this play started from Australia that the penalties and the mistakes since we've had our opening points have been there from both teams. So they'd just be looking to settle the nerves a little bit, get themselves into the grind of the game and complete their sets.
I think that's what it is, just some early nerves from both teams. Look to get their completion rate higher as we head further down the line.
Minton sends it. Rowcroft plays it. Come down this short side, and Australian defenders are on side and make the touch. And we'll regain possession coming out of their 7-metre line.
Yeah, that's a key thing to note too. If that ball is rolled outside the 7, the defenders do not have to get to the line. So on most occasions, the attacking team is going to dump right on that 7, just to force the players back onto the line.
Bryce, good contact coming
strong.
in and making it. Zoe Sosic makes a good touch, and again, as they make their way over to the interchange box. It's a hard one, isn't it, Doug? When you're naturally heading over to the interchange, you leave yourself a little bit exposed, but the contact from the defenders has still got to be spot on. Yeah,
I think it was the 2 in a row there, Scott. I think the referees just want to pick that up and stamp it out early. But you're right, both teams want to win that ruck, and it's a game of very fine margins.
Ooh, and off the fingertips there. Just didn't look quite clean enough. For the Australians, they turn the ball over. Ashkani for the Emus, and she comes up and makes the touch. And a transition here for New Zealand as they roll downfield. Hawira plays it. Sycamore back out onto the park. She plays it. Duff, a little bit caught out in defence here. Oh, beautiful ball. Oh, wow. Had to get across and make the touch. Beautiful outside in line. Almost caught Australia napping.
Just looking to expose the offside players there. Ashkani was caught up in that one in defence as referee Mule picks up a penalty to get the Australians underway back into their attacking zone.
They're on the back foot again on the first couple of touches, and the changes coming onto the field just aren't quite flowing for Australia as of yet. You see Matic trying to skip across field to get them going forward, has to come back to the mark. And not the greatest start to the set here, but they're still in decent attacking position. Matic, half, looking good defence coming across. Marnie Shepherd making the touch for New Zealand. Sycamore on the first touch, but Australia come up out of the line, put the pressure on. Good metres. Sycamore ball in 2 hands. As New Zealand, they just have to come back. Just takes a little bit of sting out of them. Shepherd goes back to play the ball. Tainui Takarai now plays it. 5th and final touch here for New Zealand. Tainui Takarai again just switching it in, but straight into 2 Australian defenders, Susi and Sammy Jo Curtis.
Yeah, that was a really good defensive set from the Emus, particularly from Catherine Sargent as she tucks that under the arm and goes forward. They really held them out there.
As the captain, Kim Susi, earns a penalty as well for her team.
Thought it might have been a foot in the ruck there, but no, referee Muir has decided that the touch is too hard, and they're really trying to stamp out those hard touches early in this game, Scott. Advantage Australia so far.
Yeah, full set of 6. Good attacking position here for the Emus. Tiani Bryce, my, they go short side looking for offside players, and They will get it. Not much room to move, but all you need is an inch, and particularly with Tiani Bryce. Gets on the outside shoulder of a retrieving defender, and she's going to take advantage most times than not.
Yeah, spot on. Known as the quickie or the punish play. They get over the ball, skip to the side, and try to beat that defender to the line. Referee Muir calling that defender offside. Australia going up 2-0 now, extending their margin.
Number 16, Tiani Bryce.
And New Zealand looking to hit back and get their first try on the board. Foster comes back up with Idumata Allen. Charlie, ball in hand. Minton shows it. We'll play it now. And a penalty for New Zealand.
Another not moving forward penalty. They're going to have to be careful. Touch blacks looking for their right set up there, and the Australian defenders just holding.
Touch made. Idumata Allen plays it. It's Foster. Will take the touch. Foster comes back to the right-hand side. Nothing doing on that side of the field for New Zealand. So they put the ball through the hands. Sausage will play it. Looping ball again. Just not much happening there for New Zealand on the back end of that.
Yeah, just a little bit static on the line there in New Zealand. You heard the coaching box call for them to go expansive. They didn't quite have the opportunity to do so in that set. They're going to have to mix up their attack a little bit to expose the Australians.
Carney off the fingertips there, and they couldn't reel it in the end. Davis probably had one thought on heading into the interchange area, but it was a looping ball out in front. Tough one to reel in. A good opportunity here for New Zealand. They're going to start in pretty good attacking position. They still got to punch forward. Like we said, they've been down this end of the field before, but they look quite flat, particularly in the middle of the field now. Sycamore's given this one up. Yeah, lost possession. So those opportunities that they get, they've got to take them with both hands.
You're right, Scott. They've had the opportunities. They just haven't converted to this point. That's the Emus now. Another chance heading down into their line. Here comes Maddock now. She'll pick up from half. What's she got? Known for a passing. Oh, with the step, Maddock now just needs to link up. What's the call here from the referee?
Yeah,
she's
down.
got that ball down first. Wow. Kim Susi on the receiving end from Hayley Maddock there, Scott.
Yeah, you called it perfectly, Doug, how dangerous Hayley is from acting half, and it was just that little pump to start with. Got herself into the in-goal area. Great support. Kim Susi as well, the skipper. Gets the third try on the board for the Australians.
It's great support play from Kim Susi. That was very close, but the referee was right on the spot. Australia up 3-0 now in our women's open division.
Hadfield play it. Tony will tackle right. Switches in. Hadfield yet again. Pressed in the middle at the moment. Rowcroft from half. Tony will tackle right. Early ball out to the right-hand side. And the touch has been made by Rogers. Fifth and final here for New Zealand. They'll finish it off on their side of the field. And need to switch into a defensive mindset here and try to keep Australia down the centre of the field. Nice ball, Bryce. Steadies his ship, cool head as well. There was a little bit of space in front of her. Gets the ball down on the deck. Jeffs just sets them up now as they get changes onto the field. Here the Emus. Davis, Dybel and Duff. Deadly combination. The Sydney Scorpions combination out on the field at the moment is Dybel. Looks to link up, but they will get a late penalty. Players offside here for New Zealand. Like we said, a combination out there of Dybel, Davis and Duff winning the recent national championships with the Sydney Scorpions.
A not square penalty there picked up by the referee. So they've been let off the hook there, the Touch Blacks. You don't see that too often at this level of the game.
Struggling to get forward here as the changes just make their way onto the field. Idumata Allen plays it shy of the halfway line. Nice roll in from Minton, who plays it. They're running straight into Australian defenders at the moment. Foster trying to create something from half. Green and gold jerseys everywhere at the moment. Rackerman down the sideline.
Yeah, the Emus have been locked in defensively so far in this game. So they're just going to have to switch up their attacking style and change their options, I think, the Touch Blacks, as they head down into the line.
Reset as a little collision of bodies between Susi and Maddock. Sammy Joe plays it. Short ball here from Susi. And ball is dropped. Sargent, there's a little bit of push and shove here off the ball. We see Catherine Sargent down on the deck.
Referees are going to hold this up now.
Oh, I hope this doesn't go against New Zealand. Hopefully it might just be a little word in the ear. Let's calm it down. I think it's going to go penalty here to Australia. Well, it's disappointing one to give away, isn't it? For substitution as well. So momentarily here, Australia are going to have a player advantage.
Just have a look at this replay, Scott. She's definitely pushed off on Sargent and knocked her over as she's trying to get onside.
Yeah, I think a penalty in 4 subs probably fair enough in that situation.
Oh, and Sargent comes off the right foot. So that's what it is, those moments when you're coming up against the world champions like that, you just can't give cheap possession back to them. Because you see, that's the end result. Catherine Sargent coming off the right foot, who was involved in that little fracas at the start, ends up making them pay twice.
That's a real momentum shift, Scott. They've regained possession and they've scored straight away. So they really didn't need that. New Zealand going to have to keep their heads up here.
Well, they need a little something to spark them, the Touch Blacks. They start to wind down in the first half. Skylar will play it. They hold up again. Just looking a little bit disjointed coming into the line. Hadfield will receive it back. She get a clean play the ball down. Australia making the touch and forcing New Zealand to pull out. And it's a 5th and final touch, and they're having to play the ball with no momentum coming into the final touch. Jeffs plays it on the first touch for Australia. Here she goes, offloading to Fildes over the halfway line for the Emus. Davis back out onto the park. Dybel switches in Duff. Nice clean play the ball. Davis picks up. There's players on the ground here for the Touch Blacks. Rogers, work to do. Comes off the left foot and they do scramble. Good scramble as well from the Touch Blacks to get over there because they're on the ropes on that defensive set.
Good attacking set there from the Emus, but equally good cover defence from the Touch Blacks.
Struggling here to go forward, Doug. Managed to push that extra pass. Just helps him to get back onto the front foot now as they're just getting over the halfway line with Rowcroft. Sycamore just needs to get a good, clean play the ball. That she does exactly that. As they pick up and go from half back to Sycamore, but the defence is there to make the touch, and it's Ash Carney coming up and closing that play down on the final touch.
They're looking to mix it up a bit, looking for some switch plays on the line, but so far the defenders have just been really aware of it.
No half in place for the Emus. It's an opportunity for New Zealand to get up and put some pressure on. Sargent links up with Curtis. Sargent picks up off the left, looping ball. Oh, it almost fell in the hands. Trish Hopcroft out there on the left-hand side. Wisely pulls them away, didn't really need to play it at that one. The ball was going to hit the deck and New Zealand were going to get possession back. So it's important. You can see the defensive pressure here from Australia, sending 2 players up to try and put that pressure on and keep New Zealand down their end of the field, but they've managed to get themselves out of their end quite nicely. Good inside ball.
Yeah, nice release.
They got to take advantage now as they roll in. Minton gets a clean play the ball down. Foster from half goes back to Minton. Minton off the left foot. Foster, it's almost opened up here for New Zealand. They've held on to it. They've come back. They've still got... Oh, they'll eventually take it away.
It's just too much loop on that ball in the end. Positive signs, though, for the Touch Blacks. It's really looking like they just need to chance their hand as we head into the end of this half. They'd love to get some points on the board.
Yeah, almost getting it done on the right-hand side. Julia Law and Nawai Harira. And now New Zealand, yeah, you can see them. They're in the box. They're happy. They almost feel like the vibe out of their interchange areas that they haven't really been getting the rub of the green, but they got it on that occasion. But we spoke about it earlier on in the first half, Doug. They need to take advantage of this opportunity that they get.
Feeling a little bit hard done by in general, but they're happy to take the possession now. And as you say, missed opportunities. They just haven't executed on the line so far. There's still a long way to go in this game.
Hadfield holds it. There's a link offside. You can hear through the effects mics, but they hold in the middle. And Jeff's making the touch, but again, it's the 5th and final, and they have to retrieve out to the 7 with not much doing. They finish the play off. They end up losing a couple of metres as well on the back of it. Australia take their time here. Rebecca Maimai will play it. Take the first hit up forward for the Emus. Jeffs holds it herself. Bryce has to take an extra couple of steps to get herself into the acting half position. Folds, ball in one hand, has to go to the mark, back to the mark. Davis back out onto the field. Switch in Duff. Similar play as they set up last time. This time Davis pumps it, sends it out to Rogers as the halftime siren sounds in the background. And you say, oh no, because
they didn't need that.
No, they didn't. The New Zealanders, unfortunately, but great work there from the Australians. And again, it was that Scorpions combination. And Davis, this time getting it done. Nice little pump. Just held off that defensive line from New Zealand, and Rogers finishes it off in the corner. A few things just didn't look quite clinical for them, but they just managed those opportunities, and they have done that a little bit better than what New Zealand have so far in the first 20.
Yeah, spot on, Scott. And we were privy to some of the conversations going on in the box here at half-time. Some impassioned coaching here from the Touch Blacks outfit, and one of their coaches said that they need to be a little bit more dynamic on the line, so less static in their attack as they head down to the 7. So let's see if that plays out in the second half.
It is the Emus who do have the opening possession here in the second half. Can they continue on that momentum? They obviously were up in the first, but to score the try right as the halftime hooter went, they just would have gone into the halftime break with their tails up, no doubt.
Yeah, that's a bit of a coach killer.
Good contact there made on Ash Carney. Almost felt like they won that play the ball. Well, they definitely won the play the ball. They were looking for the mistake. Fifth and final for them now as Davis tries to skip away. Good opening first set in defence there from the Touch Blacks. No doubt that would have been a message. They need to start the second half strong, and defence is going to be critical for them.
Yeah, they've ticked the first box there. They've held the Emus out in the first set. Now they just need to show what they've got in attack and just tidy up some of those execution errors.
Put the ball through the hands. Foster plays it. Minton and Foster, their combination was good in the first 20. Here they go, looping ball over the top. They just can't find a target. Rackerman coming across in cover defence to make the touch if it was held on to. But at least positive play. They started down the other end of the field. They managed to punch downfield. Not a bad start. Just couldn't get the polish on the back end of that one, the Kiwis. Now they forced a mistake, so this is what we wanted from New Zealand to start the second half. Hopcroft, good pressure coming up in and forcing that mistake. And they forced Australia to pass as they were trying to get themselves out of trouble.
There's that penalty we're talking about that the referees have really addressed, Scott, in this series. Players need to be moving forward with a reasonable pace and a positive attempt to make a touch. That's how it's defined in the rule book, and that's how it's going to be adjudicated.
Hit a minute up. Allen comes back in with Minton. Foster from half. Had to pick it up at the bootlaces. They come against the grain, but again, it's just this flatness that they have attacking the line. We saw it in periods in the first half, and it's almost like Australia are quite comfortable giving away the penalties at the moment because New Zealand aren't quite asking the questions that they need.
That's correct, Scotty. It's all well and good, though, until you give away that third penalty. So they're on 2 now, the Australians. They can't give away a third in this set. Referee Mule will get them going forward at the required pace.
Tainui Takarai attacks on to attack the line. Can she be the one to spark the Touch Blacks in this game? Had moments in the first half. She looked very dangerous.
Yeah, she was dynamic in that first Takarai. She'll need to be involved here heavily in the second.
Roycroft sends it out and it's gone forward out of the hands. So again, can't take that opportunity and come up with points. You always feel like they need to be the first ones to score in the second half if they're any chance of getting themselves back into the game.
Yeah, and it's good setting up for that long ball first up in the second half. Just a bit of variation. Keep the Emus guessing.
Dybel puts it through the hands. Davis does the same to Rogers. It's Carney. Gets the Emus over the halfway line. Changes onto the park. Sargent plays it. Curtis. Nice roll into the line. Is going to have to come back. And was the final touch of that set. At least get down the other end of the field. And New Zealand played on the 7-metre line. They roll forward. Good metres. Sosich getting them on the front foot. And incorrect play the ball, unfortunately. Mia McCausland just couldn't quite get the body over the ball.
No, and it's just rolled forward through the ruck there as well, but better intent on that drive set from the Touch Blacks. They really were moving forward with positive intent as Sargent just had to take the ball back to the mark. Lovely running style, Catherine Sargent. She's known for her drives.
Talking about good running styles. Manic. Oh, that's lost over the line. I have a feeling from where we're sitting.
No,
they're going to point to the spot. I might be incorrect.
Yeah, I think she's actually just managed to place the ball down on its point, and it's bounced up from there. So a little bit deceptive, but the referees are happy. And Australia score first in the second half.
And the try scorer on screen, Sammy Rogers.
Australia, number 9, Samantha Rogers.
It's another try to her name in this game, and it is the Australians who do score first here in the second half. 6-0 over New Zealand. Running, it's Foster. Looks for offside players. Jeffs makes the touch. Comfortable in defence. So far, the Emus. Minton from half. Links up with Foster. Oh, yeah, that was a lovely play. They looked to go that passive out the back with punching through the middle on the short ball. Just had to turn her back to reach for it. And a clean pass there to Sausage, and she goes over and scores.
Oh, it was definitely on for sure with that passive play. Oh, strong contact there up around the neck, as indicated by referee Randall. Very demonstrative with his signals. No uncertainty as to what the decision was, as the Australians now head into their line.
Tiani Bryce switches in Files. Plays it, Jeffs punches through, wraparound play, Bryce out in front of Rackerman, great touch. Getting on the skates there, Julia Law. Australia come back in the midfield. Jeffs looping ball over the top, Rogers ball in one hand. Gets over for another try, 2 tries in the second half.
Yeah, classy finisher on the wing, Sammy Rogers. She's been doing it for a long time now. And on that occasion, the Touch Blacks defence just in too tight, shutting early and just couldn't make it back out to make that final touch. Ominous signs now early in the second half as Australia put 2 on the board early, Scott.
Yeah, the margin out to 7-0 now. Australia well in control of this opening game. In the 2023 Opens Trent Tasman Series. This is nice play here from New Zealand. They fling the ball out though, unfortunately. McCausland, referee, was almost in position to be able to take that one and streak downfield for the intercept potentially. Davis cuts back infield. He's picking up valuable metres. Carney does the same. We haven't seen them really punch through the midfield like this so far throughout the game. Nice little change up in attack for Australia as Duff slings one out to Rogers. They've still got a touch to come at least as they steady the ship now. The Emus. Carney plays it. Davis comes off the right foot, loops it over the top, and it's just unfortunate. Losing footing. And they point to the spot. And Rogers, 3 tries to start the second half.
Yeah, she's picked up a hat-trick here, Sammy Rogers, early in the second half, but it's the long ball from Davis. I think it was. Has exposed the defence yet again here for the Touch Blacks. Concerning signs now for New Zealand. They're really going to have to tighten up on those wings.
Sycamore plays it. Go away from the sweeping Hoera. Sycamore sends it back in. Shepherd. Happy to throw the ball around. At some stage they need to punch forward. New Zealand. Sycamore better running into the line. Comes off the left foot. And Susie makes the touch.
That's better at the line from the Touch Blacks. A little bit more dynamic there, Scott, heading into that line. Just looking for that option as Australia drives it forward now again. Through Matic, but the referees have picked something up. Referee Randall.
It will be a forward pass. Touch and pass.
Touch and pass is the signal.
A full set of 6 for New Zealand to attack. Can they get points on the board? Minton sends it out. Sausage. This is Foster attacking the line. Slide defence. Sargent coming across to make the touch.
Yeah, it's been rock solid defence, as evidenced by the scoreline so far in this game, Scott. They've just been impenetrable.
Sausage from half. Foster just out in front of Minton. Couldn't reel it in.
No, and that's been the story of their game so far tonight, New Zealand. They just haven't executed on that final option. They're going to have to regroup for tomorrow's game. I'm sure the coaches will have plenty of solid advice to fix these issues.
Yeah, the positive is it's 3 test series. You just feel like tomorrow it's going to be a lot of a tighter contest. It usually is game 2, regardless of which way it goes. And New Zealand, they'll bounce back. They'll no doubt have a bit of a look at the vision tonight. See the areas where they need to tighten up. As Files just loops one out.
Yeah, it's actually quite unusual to see a margin like this between the top 2 sides. A little bit unexpected.
So off the penalty, New Zealand tap and get us back underway. Mai coming up and making the touch. Minton getting New Zealand towards the halfway line. As McCausland switches in. Hadfield scrambling for metres. Tainui Takarai will play it. Hadfield picks up, goes to the in-goal area. For a holding penalty.
Calls of holding from the box, but the first infringement is the late pass as the defender just held off just long enough and then made the touch as File picks up from half. She's been a little bit quiet in this half. Lucia Files, she hasn't really been needed.
Rogers here, just having to hold it up for a second. As Davis, there's the big windmill dummy. Dybel to Duff. Goes back to Dybel this time around as Davis sweeps right foot over to Dybel. Had to stretch for it. Comes back to Kiala Duff. Out in front, Carney. He's caught in possession in New Zealand. And a quick roll ball, get back onto the attack. Positive start for them with McCausland going forward. Nice work over the halfway line. And the skipper, Yudamir Allen, he takes another one for the Touch Blacks. Sycamore. Shepherd in the half. They earn a penalty. A little bit of contact and a little bit of shoulder in the touch on that occasion. Gets the Touch Blacks the penalty.
Yeah, they won't stop here, the Touch Blacks. Every little try exposes the Australian defence. So they're going to be looking for those little chinks and holes that they can exploit in games 2 and 3 if necessary.
Udamata Allen on the sweep, attacks the line. Yes, they will get a try, and well-deserved as well, and it's the skipper that gets it done for New Zealand. Mary Udamata Allen, just nice, positive play. Offside player, identified it, punched through and attacked the line.
That's better there, as you say, Scott. The offside player, they've identified it. And they weren't static, they were dynamic heading into that line, and they took full advantage. See that link defender, just not quite onside. Good positive intent from the Touch Blacks in that set.
Australia off the restart. Just getting players in position as Maddock picks up and goes. Rips one long out in front of Rogers. You'd have to imagine it's going to be forward.
She threw it just before the line. It was caught well into the in-goal. Maddock known for that long ball. Just didn't quite execute on that occasion.
Loop one over the top, just getting it away before the defence comes in from the Emus. Good meters going forward from Foster as they come onto the field. Hawira unloading as Hadfield plays it. He takes off again. Tainui Takarai from half. Hadfield picks up, goes left foot, tries to come back in field. Couldn't connect up with the pass. Australia restart with Susie. Out in front of Maddock, who holds it. Left foot picks up extra meters. They had work to do there, Rogers, to get over. As Mai looks out the back for the players coming on. Decides to hold it and play it herself. Mai will play it just from half. Files on the sweep. Short ball to Tiani Bryce. And it opens up yet again for the Emus. And their free-flowing points continue here in the second half.
Yeah, a little bit too easy that one once again, Scott. I said Lucia had a quiet game. She proves me wrong as she sweeps around, takes that pass and just opens up the hole. Just an easy put down there. Australia extend their margin.
Number 16, Tiani Bryce.
9-1 on the scoreboard. It's looking like a comprehensive victory here for the Australian Emus in this opening match of the Women's Open. They'll continue to fight to the final whistle here, the Touch Blacks. Shepherd plays it, Sycamore from half. They'll just have to pull back and retrieve. Jeremiah Allen plays it. Sycamore did manage to skip away, gets into the in-goal area. And skipping, lost over the line. Ball down is the call. Oh, that's really unfortunate because they did such a good job. Sycamore getting through from half. It looked like there might have been a little bit of contact. As we have a look at the replay, you can see an Australian Emu hitting the deck, but it's just a good little one-on-one battle.
Yeah, that's pretty unlucky for the Touch Blacks there. I think the Australian defender just slipped.
Yeah.
She just couldn't regather, unfortunately. Would have loved to have got their second one on their board there, but not to be this time.
Jeff's down the sideline. Davis plays it on the 10. Duff. Fifth and final for the Emus. Dybel. And that was the 6th touch. Turn the ball back over to New Zealand. They're still trying to be positive here in their box. They've got to take some sort of momentum going into game 2 tomorrow.
Yeah, they want to take something out of this game. And if they can have a strong final few minutes here, they'll be very pleased.
Bobble does a good job and holds on to that.
Good hands.
Claudia Hannum. And they earn the penalty.
No complaints there from the Emus. Heading down towards the end of the game. Not square call. Referee Muir.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. They're the ones where you don't have much defensive pressure in your face. You just got to get clean, play the balls down.
You've got to play it square to the line for our viewers. You might be new to touch, need to be parallel to that score line.
Carney will play it as Davis. Links back up with Dybel. Go away from Duff, now links up. Outstretched arms, 3 Touch Blacks there to make the touch. So they can identify the pressure coming on. It's just opening up here. First touch, good work to get momentum going forward. Minton shows it in 2 hands. The changes come onto the field. Sosic gets them on the 10-metre line.
Yeah, this is much better drive from New Zealand.
It's Tainui Takarei. Switches in. She's got ball in hand now. Looping ball early. Sends it out. They're still continuing
still
on.
alive.
Sosic. Ooh, almost slipping through. Much better set there for New Zealand. Positive play for them.
Much better. Takarei look pretty dangerous there. Should be one of their key players to watch again tomorrow. I'm sure the coaches will get their messages to these players tonight and tighten up those defensive issues.
Carney gets the Emus over the halfway line as they're making mass changes at the moment. Rogers waits for Curtis to make her way onto the field. As Maddock steams on, kicks off the left foot, ball in one hand, tries to slip in between the defence. Zoe Sosic makes the touch. Maddock stutters, short ball, good defence. 2 New Zealand defenders come up and make the touch on Susie.
Still very vocal here in the substitution box, the Touch Black, Scott. And why wouldn't you be? It's an international game. It's a test match. It's still a contest. They'll play to the very final whistle, as you said.
Hopcroft unloads from half. Good running here from Sycamore. She's looking to link up back on the inside. It's the 5th and final touch for them. Jeremiah Allen. Almost slipping through there for a second. They were shutting down on the play. The Emus. The touch had been made. Nice little ball.
Referee Muir just stopped the game here. And he might signal out a player and have a word. There might have been something in the touch. Yes, there was. Strong contact.
It's a 4 substitution. Replacement player comes on for New Zealand, Ellie Minton. Arnie Shepherd making the strong contact for the Touch Blacks. Tiani Bryce, right foot, good cover defence on the inside from Meg Sycamore. New co-captains. Can they hold out the Touch Blacks? Jeffs holds it up, can't get in between. Good back-to-back defensive efforts there from Sycamore. Put the ball through the hands.
Much better defence from New Zealand on that set, Scott, as you say. Oh, and the ball's just gone down, unfortunately.
They're in trouble here, the Touch Blacks. They've made changes right when that...
Space out wide.
Oh, a good work coming in and putting pressure in. Ooh, yeah. This calls dropped it, and I think there's a case to be made there. It's fouled through a ball that shouldn't have been thrown. Sometimes you'd like to see the advantage go to the defending team on that occasion.
That can be a real 50-50-50 call. Was the ball just thrown into it, or was she shutting up in that passing lane? Oh, how's the pass on that? Pass is okay, touch was made.
Then comes back to the 7-metre line to play it. Files plays it just from half. My on the sweep. And just as we saw in the first half, the Australians score right as the hooter is going and closes out the second half and the game. Their 10th try of this match. A clinical performance from the Emus in this opening game.
Comprehensive victory there, Scotty, as you say, from Australia. They won't be disheartened, though, the Touch Blacks. Even though the margin was large, it comes down to moments these games, and they just didn't execute some of those moments. They just need to make a few little tweaks and changes. The coaches will talk to them tonight, and they'll fix some of those defensive issues and come back stronger tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're not too far away. We're going to head down on field. Jack Rogers is going to soak up all the atmosphere and have a chat to players from both teams after